I'll admit, when the episode title was "The Root of All Evil," I did not expect this whatsoever. How is everyone doing today, guys? My name's T Coates, and we are back with another episode of Amphibia, and ooh, this one's a doozy, because, oh wait, what am I saying? This one's a doozy, and the next one's a doozy. I mean, okay. Okay, yeah, no, I'm sorry. This episode's ridiculously fun. This is episode 14A of the third season, episode 54A of the overarching series, The Root of Evil. And yeah, I didn't know like anything in terms of like a synopsis. I didn't know anything going into this episode. I just saw The Root of Evil, and I'm like, is this gonna be how the core was formed, or is this gonna be like kind of how like Amphibia, Utopia kind of became what it became? It's like, no, this is just a creepy episode. If you've seen like movies like Midsummer, just any movies revolving around cults, it's like, and I mean, that's pretty much what this episode is. It's like, because, okay, let's just get into it, because the whole episode starts with, Anne and the gang trying to go around finding recruits for the resistance, and it seems that obviously things are being ridiculously bleak, and apparently just Andreas, like, in freaking true colors when he showed off his Death Star laser, apparently that wasn't just a one-time thing, like, literally, one of the first shots is of the Utopia castle, like, or the Utopia, like, flying over Amphibia, and then you just see the freaking laser just fire off, and you're like, okay, you're just willing to blow up anything you see? It's like, what? But of course that's off in the distance. So we're in the forest where Anne and the Plantars are trying to recruit new people for the resistance, and Hot Pot fails miserably because he's talking more about plants. He's like, here are the benefits we have with being in the resistance in this underground area. We can actually grow these wonderful plants, and it's like, no one seems to be getting on board. So then Anne's like, okay, we need the beefcake. And it's like, Loggle obviously takes off his shirt, starts flexing. He's like, if you join the resistance, you can be like this. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I can't do anything cool in terms of Loggle. So of course that's what gets like people to want to join the resistance, because like if they can get jacked up like Loggle, sure, why not? But Hot Pot feels down and out about that, because it's like, no one respects the agriculture, no one respects farming, no one respects any of that. I mean, and even like the kids are just like, yeah. It's like, come on. It's like, come on. It's literally, it's. I'm like, for Sprig and Polly and Anne, I'm like, you guys lived on a farm for like, Sprig and Polly, you guys lived on a farm your whole life, and you lived on a farm for a few months. You gotta understand the amount of the work that's put into like growing these crops and actually like getting food on the table. It's like, you gotta at least understand it. It's like, come on. But of course, Anne, Sprig and Polly are like, well, food's probably not the problem. It's honestly firepower. I mean, heck, that last resistance group we got had catapults. It's like, you need something like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, but you need to understand, like, there are different ways to get people into something, and it's like, you definitely need to focus more. You need to focus on resources as much as food. It's like, okay, or weapons and stuff, and it's like, but of course, all of that goes, all of that is obviously not the focus, because the focus is on them literally stumbling upon this town called, I think it's called Gardington. It's like this town, and just the way, just the way they show up, because they fall off the side of a cliff, because they just fall off the side of a cliff, and then they wake up in this creepy room with these creepy white dresses on, and I'm just like, we are doing an episode with a cult. What? It's like, of all the things that Amphibia has done in terms of like the show, I don't know why this just was like, I don't know. Like, it's not a bad idea. It wasn't really a bad idea. It's just, we're doing it this late into the series. It's like we're talking about recruiting like people for the resistance, and then when you literally just stumble upon a cult, it's like, cool. But for Hop Pop, this cult loves gardening because literally they have like all the different types of food, vegetables that they're growing, and even Hop Pop is just can't believe it. I love how he's analyzing each of the crops. Although when it comes to a cucumber, he's just like, that's a giant cucumber. Like, everything else, he's like going into detail of how it's possibly grown. It's like, oh, the vegetation must be perfect right now. And it's like, oh, this is oh, how the heck do you guys grow these out here? It's like, this is amazing. And that's a giant cucumber. It's like, it's just, I love those little moments where it's like you're going into much analysis, and then you just have like that. But for Hop Pop, he of course is loving this whole thing, while Anne, Sprig, Polly, and Loggle, they're all just like, I am super creeped out right now. It's like, yeah, I mean, it definitely, the creeping level gets pretty insane when Loggle steps on a flower and the entire like village is just in tears and pain, and Anne's just like, is this a bit of an overreaction? And I'm like, yeah, I feel like this is kind of the internet here and there with their sensitivity level. It's like, I don't know, that's just me, that was just me. But Hop Pop, of course, you know, he obviously, like I said, because this is like a utopia kind of thing for farming and stuff, he really enjoys it, and it's like, can we see who's in charge so we can see if we can actually get you guys recruited for the resistance? And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. And they go into this abandoned looking building, and there is a dead body, and again, the reveal is like, bing, and then honestly, I don't know why this reveal, I mean, I think this reveal works because of the fact that we already had a misdirection to it, because, okay, so they go into the abandoned building, and they discover that the leader of this entire group is Apothecary Gary from the Children of the Spore, because at the end of that episode we had the beetle eating up the remnants of the mushroom goop and forming a giant mushroom on his head, and it's like, to be continued. But it's like, so yeah, we knew that was still out there, but two things. One, when they returned to Amphibia, they had the mind control collars thing going on with the creatures. So I was like, oh, so Andrew's probably found found Gary and just like took him or something. And it's like, no, he's here. And this is something I didn't realize, is the beetle that ate the goop was Hop Pop's friend Beetle Jeremy from like earlier in the show. And I'm like, how did I not realize that? Because I love the reveal. It's just like the beetle comes in with the mushroom, and of course it's Gary talking, but Hop Pop's like, Jeremy the beetle, and it's like, and then Apothecary's like, no, my eyes are up here, no, up here. It's like, it's me, Apothecary Gary. It's like, okay. So it turns out after Apothecary Gary escaped the event of Children of the Spore, he just left Wartwood and was just wandering about until he found, he decided to make a settlement where he met all these people who wanted to actually be really good at gardening and farming. And so because Gary is a shroom, he knows like how to connect with the environment. He knows what crops need in order to grow, and that's why it's so like flawless and thriving. And like, so these people are actually legit, like they are actually willing to be a part of the hive mind because they're like, we're gaining so much knowledge, understanding how to grow all these crops because of this. And it's like, that's creepy, but okay. I mean, there are the pros in that, but I'm like, I don't know. It's like, you guys look scary with those glowing purple eyes and those shrooms coming off your head. But of course, for like Hop Pop, he's like, yeah, I'm not on board with this anymore. Run! It's like, I love how instant, like, Hop Pop is not even like, Hop Pop doesn't even take a second to like ponder the situation. Like, well, I mean, these people love their gardening, you know, like, they're so good at it. And it's like, no, he's just like, I'm out. He's like, the second he realizes what's going on, he's out. And so Anne and the group, they try to escape, but it's like, well, we gotta go find Bessie. And Bestie's got like the headdress thing on, and I'm like, oh, for the love of frog, they really did want to pay homage to that. So they get Bessie out, but then they're caught, so it's like, oh no, what's gonna happen next? And then it turns out that near the beginning of the episode, they actually the flagon got tagged by a dragonfly drone that was following them, because they're like, it's gonna lead us to the base. But instead, because they took a detour into this village, that's where the robots come to attack, and it's not just the standard Frobos, it's actually like flame throwing Frobos, so flame Throbos. Nope, I can't make that work. Robots, basically, they attack, and so while the villagers are suffering, the planters escape. However, they quickly are like, we can't just leave him like this. It's like Hop Pop's just there, he's sad, and then Anne's just like, you want to go back and help him, don't you? And he's like, yes, please. They go back, they help, and of course, Gary is like, wait, you actually came back and helped us? And it's like, well, yeah, it's like, we can't just let them take you out. And it's like, okay, cool. And so they're of course still like, so I guess if we could join your resistance, because like, well, they know where we are now, so we need to be able to defend ourselves. So it's like, okay, fine, we'll join you guys, we'll help you take down Andrews. And I like that there is like a purpose to have them there. It's like, okay, we can actually, we're adding more to the army. It's like, and it's like, again, it's a nice little callback to season 1 with everything about that, because like, after what happened in Children of the Spore, we had Polly bring it up in the shut-in, and then we had the mind control collar thing. It's like, outside of that, we didn't really have anything to cement like the Children of the Spore thing. And so I even like Anne pointing that out. It's like, hey, so we've been encountering these creatures with mind control collars, and Gary's like, oh, that's not me. That's not me. There must be someone else out there. And Anne's like, ooh, maybe a lady friend. And Gary's like, we don't have those. It's like, yeah. It's so, I didn't like that little detail, because I imagine that would have been a plot. That obviously was a plot hole at first. It's like, wait, so if they're here, what's been doing that? It's like, so I'm glad that's cleared up. But I also like that, yeah, Hop Pop, of course, you know, first, as sinister that he can be, he also has a heart. I mean, last time Gary was like, no, you can't kill me. If you kill me, my race will be extinct. And Hop Pop's just like, I can live with that. It's like, he did that the first time. Now here he's just like, I can't let him die. I can't let these people die. It's like, so it's like, okay, sure, why not? But outside of that, okay, yeah, no, that was pretty much what this episode was. It was just a nice, creepy episode about a cult. I mean, they never straight up say it's a cult. I mean, because why would they in a kid's show that's aired by Disney? But yeah, so nice episode. It was a fun, like I said, fun, creepy, bringing back the Children of the Spore thing, and it actually had a bit of a meaning, because, you know, this is a part of the army now, and we have an understanding about, like, oh, it's not Gary who's been doing the mind control collar thing, it's like someone else. So I wonder how that's gonna play into all of this. But outside of that, yeah, no, this was a good episode. Creepy, but good. I mean, that's the Amphibia way. You gotta be creepy, but you gotta be good too. So, yeah, that's about it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment. And if you want to subscribe. You don't have to. I'm just saying. Thank you all for watching. And we will see you in the next video.